Students, we have been discussing about an activity. Stand a candle in the middle of a large table like this. Draw a big circle around the candle. Place a globe at any point on this circle as shown in the figure here. Light the candle. See that it is dark in the room. Suppose that the candle is the sun. Imagine that the candle is sun. Observe which part of the globe gets the sun's light and which one does not. See here, if you see this picture, this part is enlarged here and the part which lies towards the candle. Imagine that this is sun, candle is sun, and here we can call it as day, means here lighted part. Here it gets the light, and the part which opposite to it, which is dark, here we can't see the light at all. We can see that there is no light at all. Now looking at the globe from the direction of the north pole, looking at the globe. Turn it an anti-clockwise. So the clockwise means what? Clock at 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Anti-clockwise means what? This like. Means we have to turn this according to from west to east to, it turns west to east. West to east direction. Anti-clockwise direction. It rotates from west to east. Earth rotates from west to east. As the earth rotates, its different parts come into the light of the sun one after the other and turn away it also in the same order. See this here. See this ball. Consider that, for example, if consider this bindi. If here it is candle, this part is lighted part and earth rotates from west to east. West to east. See this. Sometimes this part is towards the sun or the candle, and we can say that here day is there and here night is there. Means earth rotates from west to east. From this activity, we come to know certain things. That means the lighted part. Think for example sun and earth. The part which towards the sun, we can call there it is daytime, and the part which is away opposite to the sun, we can call it is the night time. Stick a red bindi on the globe. Set up the previous model of the globe and the candle. Turn the globe anti-clockwise and note when it is sunrise, noon and sunset at the location of the bindi. For example, this part. Now lighted part. We can say that it is sunrise. Sunrise means the earth rotates from west to east. Now we can say that if here candle is there, and we can say that here sunrise. Afterwards, when it turns like this, it will be noon. And then when it reaches this point, we can say that it is sunset. And here night. After one sunrise, note when the next sunrise occurs at the bindi. You will see that this happens when the earth completes one rotation. When the earth completes, for simple experiment, for example, see this. Here, when it turns like this, from west to east, see, lighted part, here sunrise, here noon, and here sunset. This period of time that the earth takes to complete one rotation is called a day. A day means what? A day has two parts, daytime and night time. 1 day means how many hours? 24 hours. For the purpose of measuring time, we divide the whole day into 24 parts, each of which is called an hour. An hour means what? It's a part of the day. Day has been divided into equal 24 parts, and each of which is called an hour. Now we have to see one activity here. Now move the globe along the circle on the table. As you do this, keep rotating the globe and ensure that the axis does not change its orientation. Axis does not change its orientation. Axis of the earth which I have shown you earlier. Axis should not change. For example, if you see this ball, if you hold like this, inclination. Inclined means what? It's inclined. It should rotate like this. Axis of the earth should not change. Axis of the earth should not change. Like this you have to rotate. Axis of the earth should not change. The period of the time the earth takes to complete one revolution around the sun is called 1 year. 1 year means what? 1 year means how many days are there in 1 year? There are about 365 days and 6 hours in a year. There are about 365 days and 6 hours in a year. See this simple picture. And earth takes, when it starts from here, rotating around itself, and it reaches this point exactly after 1 year. So to complete one revolution around the sun, it takes 365 days and 6 hours. Now let us study about a leap year. We have already studied that, as I told you earlier. 1 year means how many days? 365 days and exactly 6 hours. In the Gregorian calendar, the year is taken to have 365 days. It means that it counts 6 hours less every year. Means we ignore the 6 hours every year. That makes 24 hours or 1 day in every 4 years. After every 4 years, once in 4 years, it takes 1 day more. To make up for this lost 1 day, the month of February in the Gregorian calendar has an extra day every 4th year. That year is called a leap year, and it has 366 instead of 365 days, and February has 29 instead of 28. You might have learnt about in the leap year. Leap year comes once in 4 years. So every year 6 hours. We are counting the 6 plus 6 plus 6. 6 fours are how many? 24. 24 hours make 1 day. So we add that one extra day once in 4 years. So in that year, the year has 366 days instead of 365 days, and February has 29 days instead of 28 days. Now I am going to explain some more information or explain you more. Do you know? You know that length of the day and night is not always equal. Length of the day and night is not equal. And now see, for example, in the month of after 21st June, the days are longer in the summer and nights are shorter in the winter. Nights are longer in the winter. You know that the length of the day and night is not always equal. This happens because of the Earth's inclined axis. See here in this page, Earth is inclined. in the northern hemisphere, if you consider like this, in the northern hemisphere, between 22 March and 23 September, northern hemisphere, the days are longer, than nights. Therefore, it is warmer there. That is, it is summer in the northern hemisphere. Consider the region between 22 March and 23 September. There is summer in the northern hemisphere. However, during this same period, in the southern hemisphere, nights are longer than the days. The earth gets less heat in these parts, and therefore it is winter in the southern hemisphere. You simply understand that here, if there is summer in the northern hemisphere, we observe winter in the southern hemisphere. In the period from 23 September to 22 March, the days are longer than nights in the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, days are longer than the nights. It gets more heat and it is summer there. In this period, in the northern hemisphere, it is nights that are longer. Means, when there is summer in the northern hemisphere, we observe winter. In summer, days are longer and nights are shorter. But in winter, just opposite to that, nights are longer and days are shorter. So, temperature is very low. It is the nights that are longer. In the northern hemisphere, gets less heat and it is winter there. Note that there may be differences in these dates due to leap year. Did you know that leap year has 366 days? There may be certain differences in the leap year. So, simply you can understand the fact that when there is summer in the northern hemisphere, there is winter in the southern hemisphere. And when there is winter in the northern hemisphere, there is summer in the southern hemisphere. Note that there may be differences in these dates due to the leap year. In India, summer, the rainy season and winter are considered to be the main seasons. So when we ask normally questions, how many seasons are there in a year? We simply say that there are 3 main seasons in a year: summer, winter and rainy. But according to Indian calendar, we also divide the year into 6 seasons. If you look the calendars, whichever the calendars means, Mahalakshmi, Kalnirnay, if you see the calendar, you will see these seasons, 6 seasons, namely Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. Let me read once again. Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. And this cycle of seasons, cycle of 6 seasons is called the Ritu Chakra. Means one after again, this season doesn't stop. It continues forever. So, Vasant, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. Which is the first one? First season, Vasant. Afterwards, Grishma. Varsha. Varsha means rainy season there. Sharad, Hemant and Shishir. Many of our festivals are connected with the seasons. I am going to tell you some examples here. Many of our songs and games are also related to the different seasons. Now see, consider the festivals such as Raksha Bandhan, Nag Panchami and Gopal Kala. And these festivals are observed in Varsha Rutu. You can understand this more about by using a calendar also. Mainly Raksha Bandhan, Nag Panchami and Gopal Kala. Now which season is there, or which season, Indian season? Varsha Rutu. Now after this one, Ganesh Chaturthi. Ganesh Chaturthi is observed in Sharad Rutu. And Navratri also observed in Sharad Rutu. And Diwali festival in the winter season, Diwali is observed in Hemanta Rutu. I am going to explain you now. I am explaining here how our festivals are connected with the seasons. Here, Shishir Rutu, the main festivals which are observed are is Makar Sankranti. Makar Sankranti is observed in Shishir Rutu. And see Vasant Rutu. In Vasant Rutu, you know our famous festival, Holi and Gudi Padwa. These festivals are observed, main festivals are observed in Vasant Rutu. And I am going to tell you, you have to find out the songs and games which are related to different seasons. Now let us go to the next topic, phases of the moon.